Hello people, we're on the beach. Is this not absolutely beautiful? I just feel like I just want to get completely out the picture so that you can have the best of the beautiful sunrise down here. We've been looking at trying to unpack what love looks like according to 1 Corinthians 13 and according to the conversation that Jesus had with the rich young ruler, where he said, one thing you lack, you don't love enough. And the question would be, well, what does love look like? 1 Corinthians 13, read it again, is a great passage to define and give us a great picture of this thing called love. So far we've said in defining love, 1 Corinthians says this: love is patient, love is kind, love is not jealous, it is not boastful, and it certainly is not rude. And then today's one, it says this: love does not insist on its own way. And I want my way, people. I want to do things your way. My way is the only way, and it's my way or the highway. This is kind of like the world in which we live, and I am a propounder of this particular thing. And yet Jesus says this is not what true love would epitomize and be pictured as. Love does not insist on its own way. You see, selfish people want their own way, and we already know that selfishness is the root of immaturity, or immaturity is the root of selfishness. Immature people act selfishly. That's why a kid has temper tantrums, because he's immature, and he acts selfishly because he wants something, he wants it now, and but don't we sometimes behave like that? According to 1 Corinthians 13, this should not be our behavior. According to 1 Corinthians 13, the other person's opinion should, in many cases, in most cases, be more important than our own. Now I'm looking for an example of selflessness. In my mind straight away, this was not difficult. Look to mothers. Mothers, the most selfless people in the world. Mothers who live through the discomfort of pregnancy. No, I don't want to do that, I'm telling you. I'm glad I'm a man. Mothers who live through the pain of childbirth. They then have the screaming child who doesn't sleep, and they have to live through that and get up and feed and look after a kid at night. They have to persevere through meal after meal and bath time after bath time and vomit after vomit and illness. And oh man, how do mothers do that? I know as fathers need to be a bit more active, and I hope you guys are, but there's something selfless about a mother. They suck it up, all the hurts. They suck up the fact that the kid can embarrass them. They suck up the fact that the kid is ungrateful, the fact that the kid disappoints them from time to time. They just suck it up. And you think, how do people do that? The reason is they don't insist on their own way, because the way of the child is their way for that period of time. You see, shepherds lay down their lives for their sheep. Mothers generally lay down their lives for their kids. Well, you have a look at a mother. You mothers out there, I would put money on this, that your screensaver on your cell phone is of your children. If your cell phone screensaver is your dog, you're in trouble. You need to get a life, you know. But if you're married, it's probably going to be your kids. Your husband does not, I don't think your husband's going to be on there, is he? But your kids will be on there. They're your pride and your joy, and you will do anything, sacrifice anything on behalf of those kids because you love them. So the answer to immaturity is simply love. When we love people, we will not be selfish. When we love, we will be happy to give to one another at our own detriment sometimes. Here's a little tool that comes to mind, and we often will apply this in the world in which I live. We talk about the preference and the principle rule. You know, when you want your own way, you've got to ask yourself, is this a preference or is this an issue of principle? If the thing that you're fighting for and you want, but you insist on having your own way, is an issue of preference, let me tell you people, the other person's preference is more important than you. If you're fighting over the color, or you want to paint the kitchen and she wants pink and you want blue, let me tell you, man, she wins. Her preference is more important than yours. But when it comes to issues of principle, then you better have a Bible verse to back your principle. Because I hear people say, oh, just I'm standing on a principle. I'm saying, what principle? Show me it. Can you tell me it? What is your principle? If your principle is biblical, then stand on it and hold on to it. But if the issue of your conflict is an issue of personal preference, do yourself a favor and don't insist on your way. Watch what happens in the relationship. Try this, you married couples. Don't insist on your own way. Just say, I'll do it your way for a change, and watch the response from the other person. They're so used to you saying, I'm going to do it my way, and it's my way or the highway. Let's reverse this thing. Here's what you need to do. Sometimes you need to do the opposite of what you would want to do, and you'll find it's generally the right thing to do. I hope you understand that. I better go and do the same now. Cheers guys, have a fantastic day. Bye.